Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is your name?
Simon Jones.
All right, Simon. And where are we today?
Today we are in Bomi County, Liberia, here in Tombukai, doing a drilling water project.
A drilling water project?
Yes,
Who's we?
me and the NGO, the team,
What NGO is that?
Africa Heartwood Project.
Okay. And what you're part of a team?
Yes.
And what is your role as part of that team?
Normally I would be considered the water trucker, or the person who is transporting water from one place so we can use it to use it for the drill. And because there's a certain step in the process of drilling that we use water to flush out the cuttings that we cut from the ground.
So, water trucking, what does that involve exactly?
I will take the truck, and we have two big barrels that we fill with water. And
Are they those barrels that we can see in the background there?
Yeah, there's two barrels down there with lids, and I take some of the little kids, usually about 12 and under, and they take buckets, and we just take the water from their old water source and dump it into the barrels and take it up to the site.
And what are some of the places where you have to collect that water from? And do you have to go far?
In this town, it's not far. It's just about 100 yards down the road, and we've taken from the river, the Lofa River, and we've also taken from just holes that they've dug in the ground, just anywhere that we can get easy access to water.
Do you have any other responsibilities as part of the drilling team?
Not really. We do everything. Everybody really does everything. The only reason that I do water trucking is because I'm the one that uses the truck and can drive. But I'll use the crank to pull up the drilling device, the bit, and lower it. I'll spin sometimes and change out the rods when we add and take out rods.
Is that easy work?
No.
What's it like?
Taking out the rods.
Yeah, physically.
It's just they get pretty tight when you're drilling, and so we have to use the pipe wrench to break the rods, is what they call it, and that can be pretty hard.
So the purpose of this is to drill for water, and so it sounds like the NGO you're working with does water projects as part of their charity work, yeah?
Yeah.
And how do you feel about being involved in a team that is doing that kind of service?
I think it's great. It's a great opportunity for me, a great experience, because I've never really been a part of a team with working with other people other than different sports teams, but this is my first actual job that involves working with other people, and it's a great experience. It's also a challenge.
You must be making a lot of money, huh?
Not really. It's $10 a day, but it's
$10 a day?
Yes, a day. So it's not really for the money. I'm mostly doing it for the experience.
What are some of the things you've learned as you've been involved with the drilling team?
The major thing is learning to work with other people, even when you don't really get along. Just learning to collaborate and be able to get over that you don't like each other and just work with each other, and that's been a great learning experience. I've learned about the layers of the earth, and like depending on how far we drill, the different types of rock that we'll hit, and learning what techniques to use to get down through the rock.
Is there anything that you've learned being in kind of the villages that you're working in? What have you observed about life?
Life out here, it seems to be pretty hard. When you have to before they got this water that we're providing, they would have to walk some of the villages quite a distance and carrying buckets of water back on their head, which can be pretty heavy, and it seems like a lot more of a harder life than what we're used to back in the States.
Do you have to carry your own food and water in, or do you eat the food that the villagers eat?
We'll provide the rice. We'll bring a bag of rice to every village that we do a project in, and we'll have them cook rice for us, and we eat it as lunch. And they'll provide the soup or the stew that goes in the rice to flavor it, and they'll provide chicken or meat, fish to put in the stew as well. And we'll eat that around 1:30 or 2, and that'll be the meal for the day.
Do you like the food?
Yeah, it's usually the same thing every day, which is cassava leaf, which they just grow in their farms, so it's pretty easy for them to get.
And it's all right for you?
Yeah, it tastes alright.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about your experience working with the drilling team or being here in Liberia?
I'd like to say thank you to the NGO for being able to provide this experience for me, and also for the purpose that we're doing is great, and I think that I'd like to do it again if I had the chance.
How many villages have you drilled in so far, and have you had good success, or is it difficult to find water? Have you had any dry wells?
I think this is the 6th or 7th well that we've done, and we've had pretty good success in all of them. One of them we did not reach water, which makes it a dry well, so we'll have to either dig deeper, which would be a problem because we hit rock, and with the drill that we're using, it's not easily able to penetrate the rock. So what we're thinking of doing is doing a hand dug well, which would just a chisel and a hammer try and get through the rock, and if it's not possible, then that village won't be able to have clean water.
Does the community have to, do they work with you? I see looks like some people wearing jackets and hard hats, and I see some who are not. What is that participation like?
Yeah, the ones that look professional with the hard hats and the vests and the boots, they are part of the team, and they have been with us from the beginning. But the ones that are wearing their slippers and they're just from the village. They're locals that come and help us because we do need manpower to spin the flywheel to be able to drill down. Also, the women will help provide the food, so that's usually the women's job.
Well, thank you for your good work, Simon. It sounds like you're having quite an experience.
Yeah.
Drilling in the villages and being part of bringing clean water to people. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.